Penguins, a flightless bird that has diversified across the southern hemisphere into several identifiable species. The largest and most impressive is the emperor penguin. The emperor penguin lives exclusively in the Antarctic and is the only penguin that lives and breeds on the ice shelves surrounding the continent. Their average height is around 1 meter and weigh in up to 45 kilograms. However, reports have been made of individuals reaching 1.5 meters tall. The male and female look similar, black with a white belly, pale yellow breast, and yellow ear patches. They live on a diet of fish, krill, and squid. As like all other penguins, they are skilled swimmers and have adapted their bodies to dive underwater for up to 20 minutes to a depth of over 500 meters. Unlike the general bird population, the emperor has evolved a solid bone structure, allowing it to handle extreme water pressures, whilst diving, and can control its metabolism, reducing their body's requirements for oxygen at depth. Emperors have adapted to the cold and breed during the Antarctic winter in the most extreme conditions where temperatures can drop to -20 degrees. Their breeding colonies can include several thousand birds and choose to remain on the ice sheet rather than seek dry land. The female lays a single egg and transfers it to their male counterpart, tucked in on their feet and under their belly feathers. The female then returns to the sea to feed, whilst the male incubates the egg for around 2 months. On their return, the female shares parenting duties with the male as the chicks grow. Emperors live around 20 years. However, some individuals have been estimated to be 50 years old. In recent years, research has shown a reduction in penguin numbers due mainly to climate change and the reduction in sea ice. The latest estimates put the emperor population at 500,000 individuals. The king penguin, closely related to the emperor penguin, shares many similarities in appearance, but is slightly smaller in size, making it the second largest penguin species. One distinguishing feature of the king penguin is its bright orange cheek patch, contrasting with the yellowish-white patch of the emperor penguin. In the wild, emperor and king penguins tend to inhabit different areas, with limited overlap. The king penguin has 2 subspecies, one residing in the South Atlantic and the other on the islands in the South Indian Ocean and at Macquarie Island in the Southern Ocean. When it comes to diet, king penguins have similar preferences to their larger cousin. They primarily feed on krill, lanternfish, and squid. Like emperor penguins, they are skilled divers, capable of reaching depths of up to 100 meters with some individuals even recorded diving as deep as 300 meters. Breeding for king penguins takes place in the northern reaches of Antarctica, as well as the subantarctic islands and southern Argentina. The young king penguins can be easily identified by their long bills and heavy dark brown downy coats. Interestingly, king penguins often choose to breed on the same large islands, where at least half of the other penguin species also establish their colonies. This coexistence highlights the diverse and interconnected nature of penguin communities. In the past, the king penguin faced commercial exploitation for its meat, oil, and fat. However, today it is fully protected, emphasizing the importance of conservation efforts to preserve this magnificent species. The macaroni penguin is the most populous and hungriest of all penguins. With a population of over 18 million, they consume more fish and marine life by weight than any other. Many assume it was named for its macaroni hairdo. It was actually named in the 18th century for the resemblance of a style of hat worn by men at the time. It is one of 6 crested species. With a black head and back and a white front, they have pink feet. They reside around the Antarctic, southern Australia, South America, and Marion Island, where their dense breeding colonies reach over 100,000 individuals. Breeding in the summer months, they take to the ocean for 6 months of the year. Once a year they molt, spending a month on shore while they regrow their coats. A drop in numbers has been noted recently, and their status is now listed as a vulnerable species. The Adélie penguin is named after the region Adélie Land, Adélie being the wife of explorer Jules Dumont d'Urville. He explored the region in 1840. The Adélie weighs in at 3 to 8.2 kilograms. The female weighs much less and has shorter beaks and wings. The adults are about 70–73 centimeters long. Mostly black, with bright white pants, the Adélie has a defining white ring around its eyes. It also has black feathers covering most of its beak. Like its bigger cousin, the emperor penguin, it is common along the entire coast of Antarctica. However, the Adélie prefers to nest on rocky, ice-free ground and choose areas that have wind and sunshine to keep the ice at bay. They breed for around 5 months starting in October. They lay 2 eggs which they incubate for a month by both parents who take it in turn every 12 days. The young penguins venture into the ocean after 50 or 60 days. Historically, the Adélie generally fed on squid, Antarctic silverfish, lanternfish and krill. Research has revealed, with the drop in other krill-eating species like whales and fur seal, the penguin has greatly increased its krill intake because of this abundance. Like the Adelie, the chinstrap and gentoo penguins all share a common ancestry. Chinstrap penguins are known for their distinctive appearance. A narrow black band located under its head, giving the impression of wearing a black helmet. This distinct marking makes it effortlessly recognizable among its penguin counterparts. It is no wonder that it also goes by other names such as ringed penguin, bearded penguin, and stone cracker penguin due to its loud and harsh call. These creatures can be found in various islands and shores across the southern Pacific and Antarctic oceans, creating a circumpolar distribution. Breeding grounds are spread across several locations, including Antarctica, Argentina, Bouvet Island, Chile, the French Southern Territories, and South Georgia, and the South Sandwich Islands. Although primarily found in these areas, there have been rare sightings of vagrant individuals in New Zealand, the islands of St. Helena and Tristan da Cunha, as well as South Africa. They have a varied diet consisting of small fish, krill, shrimp, and squid. These resourceful creatures are known to swim up to 80 kilometers offshore each day in search of food. A recent expedition to Elephant Island has noted a significant population decline of 50% in just under 50 years. Beyond climate change, there are other potential threats faced by chinstrap penguins. Volcanic events can disrupt their habitats, causing temporary displacement and potential harm to their colonies. The International Union for Conservation of Nature, IUCN, estimated the population of chinstrap penguins to be around 8 million specimens in 2018. While there is an overall belief that their population is decreasing, it is important to note that in many sites their numbers are either increasing or remaining stable. The gentoo penguin is a distinctive species known for its wide white stripe across its head and bright orange-red bill. With its pale whitish-pink webbed feet, it has the most prominent tail of all penguins. In the past, only 2 subspecies of the gentoo penguin were recognized. However, a recent study proposed a reclassification, suggesting that the gentoo penguin should be split into 4 morphologically similar but separate species. Breeding colonies of gentoo penguins are found on ice-free surfaces. These colonies can be located directly on the shoreline or further inland, sometimes up to 2 kilometers in South Georgia. They prefer shallow coastal areas and often nest among tufts of grass. During the breeding season, gentoo penguins lay 2 eggs. Both parents take turns incubating the eggs, switching duties daily. After 34 to 36 days, the eggs hatch, and the chicks remain in the nests for approximately a month before venturing out to join the other colony's chicks. They have grey backs and white fronts. As they waddle on land, their tails stick out behind, giving them the scientific name Pygoscelis, meaning rump-tailed. Their diet consists of organisms with a high salt content, similar to seawater. This can lead to complications related to high sodium concentrations in their bodies, particularly for the chicks. To counteract this, along with many other marine bird species, they possess a highly developed salt gland located above their eyes. This gland extracts the excess sodium from their bodies and produces a highly saline concentrated solution that drips out from the tip of their beak. Overall, Gentoo populations are increasing due to climate change, the Antarctic ice disappearing, revealing land that they can utilize for breeding. The Magellanic penguin is a fascinating species native to southern South America. These penguins can live for up to 25 years in the wild, and one specimen in captivity lived to the age of 40. Adult individuals display a black and white abdomen, along with 2 black bands between the head and breast. Their black head is accented by a wide white border that extends around the head from behind the eye to the throat. Unlike some other penguin species, Magellanic penguins have a consistent food supply along the Atlantic coast of South America. The presence of a large continental shelf in the Atlantic Ocean allows them to forage far from their breeding colony. In terms of mating behavior, they form long-term partnerships with the same mate year after year. The male penguin reoccupies its burrow from the previous breeding season and eagerly awaits the reunion with its female partner. Remarkably, the females are capable of recognizing their mates solely based on their calls. They migrate northward for the winter, venturing to offshore waters near Peru and Brazil to feed. The rockhopper penguins, which are 3 closely related groups of crested penguins, are highly dispersed. Unlike macaroni penguins, they can be found in Antarctica, the South Atlantic, and Indian Oceans. Despite being one of the smaller penguin species, it is impossible to differentiate between male and female individuals visually. Due to their habitat on rocky shores, rockhopper penguins cannot slide on their bellies like other penguins. Instead, they rely on hopping from one rock to another, which is how they acquired their name. A recent study has found that the yellow-eyed penguin moved north from the subantarctic, filling the niche left after the extinction of the Waitaha penguin that disappeared shortly after Polynesian settlers arrived on the islands of New Zealand. The southern islands are home to several species of penguin, including the Fiordland crested penguin, which can be found in Australian waters. snares crested, and the erect crested penguins both breed on the small southern islands around New Zealand as well. Other small native penguin species can be found in the Falkland, Tristan da Cunha, and Gough Islands. Australia has its small fairy penguin, and the only penguin species north of the equator can be found on the Galapagos Islands. The African black-footed penguin is endemic to South Africa and Namibia. In all, research into this flightless bird has revealed many extinct species, and current living populations are under environmental stress from climate change and human interaction. These are just some of the challenges of living in the animal kingdom.